Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us for a quick update about our Victim Advocacy Program at Lighthouse Immigrant Advocates. For those of you tuning in, my name is David Lee, and I'm the Advancement Director here at Lighthouse Immigrant Advocates. I've worked here for just about a year, and it's been a great, amazing, and very impactful time. A few weeks ago, we announced by email and social media and through other channels that we are doing a special fundraiser to refill the funds available in our Victim Advocacy Fund. This is a fund that we have had that was established early on in our organization's history that is designed to fill a very specific need in our community, and that is to provide stability and safety for victims of violence for whom immigration status is one of the challenges they face on their journey back to safety and stability. One of the key features of this program is that we do not charge any fees to clients. And the reason for that is because in cases of violence, abuse, sexual violence, trafficking of all kinds, the documentation that's used to prove your identity and your right to be a resident of a place are used to control people. So if you don't have a passport or your LPR card or even your access to a bank account or your own funding, and you do learn about our services as victim advocates, it's very likely that someone would not be able to pay because they don't have access to their own information. So for that reason, since our founding days, we've provided services like this at no cost to our clients. We want to be able to continue doing that, and it's largely been through the generous donations and support of our own community members that have made this possible. All of our other services, we actually do charge fees for. So if you're coming in to do a consultation, if you're trying to do a family petition, if you want to do a one-step adjustment, we do charge fees. Now, those fees are really quite reduced from what you might pay for a private attorney or another service. And as a nonprofit, yes, we do take grants and apply for various forms of support to offset some of those expenses. But the Victim Advocacy Fund has been pretty special to us. And over the years, we've helped quite a few people navigate at least the immigration side of their processes. As of today, actually, as of this hour, we have reached $9,044.60 in total donated funds for this fund. Now, that's just amazing. I am so grateful for all of the generous folks that have made that much progress. When we first started this fund, actually, with the first email that we sent out, we had noted that we had actually dipped into the negative with this fund. And part of the reason for that is because regardless of who's coming to us for help, we're going to say yes when it comes to cases like these. However, it was negative because while we are billing ourselves for the work we're doing, we had not had time or capacity to do a special fundraiser for this specific need. A lot of our past 12 months of activity have really been focused on maintaining our existing programs for immigrants in our community, while at the same time raising funds for a brand new program to help Afghan refugees and asylum seekers. Now that that program is well underway, and I think quite successfully, we're turning our attention back to the fact that, you know what, we can do so much more when we have community member support. So with that $9,000, I'm very excited to say that we are able to cover up to 18 VAWA cases or 11 refugee asylum applications. VAWA is an acronym that stands for Violence Against Women Act. It's one of the few pieces of legislation in the United States that provides a pathway to permanent residency. Unfortunately, the circumstances are always going to be when people are victims of violence committed by another resident of the United States. So yes, these are victims. We do a lot of work to make sure that we are providing trauma-informed care. We try to limit the number of interviews that we do that might re-traumatize people. And then we take every care to just be holistically emphatic and caring people throughout the legal process. One of the key features of this program is that it goes up and down as the need increases. And what we've seen in just the last 7 to 8 months is that we've had a lot more interest and need for the victim advocacy program than in the last 2 years combined. We had some really good questions from supporters and people about like why has the need increased all of a sudden? And the reason for that is because, well, as Lighthouse has become much more visible with its services over the last 2 years, partially because of the pandemic, a lot more people have thankfully been able to learn about our services and take advantage of them. The other thing that's happened, though, is that because of COVID and of all the isolation that people felt, really there was just a large uptick in domestic violence and abuse that led to a lot more people being victimized over the last couple of years. I have a quote from Sarah Yor Van Oosterhout, who was our founding attorney. She basically said, I cannot tell you the number of people I've consulted with who have said the violence and abuse started in 2020, sometimes out of nowhere, and they're just now getting to the point of seeking help. So it's not so much that it's happening all right now. It's more of a long-term effect, um, unintended, I think, but we're here to try and help. And as we've had a rise in cases that we need to address, we've also started to deplete that fund. So, yeah. Currently, we have a number of active cases, including for that Victims of Violence Against Women Act, as well as U visas and T visas. I don't want to get too deep into the legal stuff of like what exactly these are, but generally they are different kinds of legal immigration statuses that are made available to victims of violence or victims of threats of violence. Specifically, the T visas are for victims of labor or sex trafficking, and the U visas are for victims of violent crime. So yeah, I really have wanted to refill this fund to give our legal team the resources they need to be secure in knowing that yes, we can take these cases because all the work that we do does have a cost attached to it, even if we're not charging clients those fees to cover even a portion of it. So at the rates that we're doing things and with the level of support that we received from the community, we are happy to be able to continue the good work that we're doing thanks to your support. Finally, I want to say today is the last day of our special campaign to refill this fund. And that's not because the need is going away, but because as an organization, we are committed to taking efforts as possible in a way that ensures that all of our programs can succeed. As we get on to the last couple of months of the year, we will be taking great efforts to seek out all the different kinds of support that exists in the community. So if you are a current donor, thank you so much. Whether you give to this fund or you give monthly or you give annually, your financial contributions really make it possible for us to prevent further harm to victims of violence, but also to encourage lots of families to access the full power of the law on their side. So I hope that you'll, well, do what you do best, advocate for those in our community that most benefit from it, to keep learning more about what kinds of actions you can take to make a difference. Finally, we have our donate link here at the bottom, and it's pretty simple. It's https www.tinyurl.com/4immigrants, FOR immigrants. That'll take you right to our donation page online. And if you prefer not to give online, we are here to facilitate any kind of giving that you might manage. So feel free to give me a call or send an email, drop by the office. We'll be here until 5 o'clock today. And yeah, enjoy this beautiful fall weather, and I hope to see you all soon. Thank you.